So I reached Eternity on 2 different accounts, almost exclusively playing Spider-Man. I peaked top 50 highest ranked Spider-Man mains global on PC and ended season 1.5 as the number 58 and number 159 Spider-Man on my 2 accounts. By the end of this video, I guarantee that you will learn something new and that you will not just become a better Spider-Man player, but a better Marvel Rivals player in general. So I will not be sharing any basic tips and tricks or go over any of the abilities, but I will be sharing more advanced concepts that other videos on YouTube don't cover. And I'll also say that even if you don't play Spider-Man, this video will still be useful for you to watch so that you can stop other Spider-Man mains from doing what they want. Before I dive in though, let me lay out the main points I'll be addressing in this video, which are learn how to effectively climb ladder, which is 1. Number 2, why you need to stop relying on combos. Number 3, the reality of pulling people off the map. 4, the truth about who to target on the enemy team. Number 5, why you suck at timing your engagements. Lastly, the real correct playstyle of Spider-Man. And I'll just say it right off the bat, it's not rage-based Spider-Man, alright? So, number 1, the first one I was going to cover is how to effectively climb ladder. Before anything, I need to say this first, is that as a Spider-Man player, you need to learn to mute all, okay? You need to learn to mute all. Because I think Spider-Man is probably one of the most attacked heroes in the game for whoever plays it. So basically, right, it's even if you're losing, okay, say that you're losing a game and it's objectively not your fault, you will always be the first to get blamed out of anyone else just from the fact that you're playing Spider-Man, okay? And this can really tilt you, and if you actually don't get tilted, then I guess you don't need this, but most people get tilted from this kind of stuff, and even me, I get tilted, right? So that's why I think it's really important to just learn to mute all and just play the game on your own terms. Say that you're going against a Spider-Man, they're gonna say Spidey div, blah 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 blah. They're gonna start talking, they're gonna be like, oh, the worst Spider-Man I've ever seen, oh, my team has the worst Spider-Man I've ever seen, or some bullshit like that, and it's gonna tilt you. And then VC, they're gonna say, Spider-Man, can you switch? You're not being useful. So just learn to mute all. Next thing on this point is that you need to private your profile and you need to private your name. So basically how you do that is you want to go to your settings, go to social, and then make this private or friends only so that third-party trackers won't be able to track you. Even if you hide your name in game, if say that you go to hide your name competitive, you turn this on, the tracker can still see through that and see your stats. So just make sure you hide this and make your profile friends only or private, okay? And that way you won't be target banned, you're Spider-Man. Also, this is just a cherry on top. You don't actually have to do this, but I would also recommend, if you really don't want to get target banned, make sure to change your banner every single game as well, because if on the chance that you get someone that you had on your team or on the enemy team, then you get them again, the other team, then they can just target ban you because they recognize your banner and your level, even if you hide your name. This is another thing you can do when you're climbing, is to not pop your Q until you see that people from your previous game get into hero select. Because the game has a feature where you can go to your friends and then go to recent players and you can see if they're in a queue, if they're in a game or not, right? So you can use this to your advantage and kind of just wait, right? And the last thing is to actually find a Venom duo, right? Because with the Venom team up, you're going to be able to do a lot more, and you're going to be able to consistently pull off one-shot combos. Well, not one shot as in takes one shot, but you'll be able to kill really fast, right? So here's just an example. You see, that's your bread and butter. Normally with the Venom team up, you can kill them like this, and it's just way faster, right? Even on 275 HP targets, you can kill them incredibly fast like that, right? And not to mention also, having the Venom on your team allows you to play off of his pressure instead of trying to create the opportunities yourself. You'll have a lot more opportunities to kill their backline and then also just put on a lot more pressure along with your Venom. Say that Spider-Man's B tier with Venom, then he'd be C tier without him, right? It makes that much of a difference. So yeah, just find your Venom duo. What I did to find a Venom duo is kind of funny. So I went to the top 200 or top 500 list of the highest ranked Venom players. I literally just added them on my main, all of them, the 200 players. I just added them, and 60 or 70% of them actually added me back. So I have these Venom players on my friends list that I can invite and play with. It might take a little bit of work, but honestly, just finding a Venom player is actually gonna be huge for you. So I'm gonna go into the next part of the video, which is why you need to start relying on combos. I see so many people just looking for the next good combo. What's the next combo that we need to learn? What's the new tech? And like, how do you kill the person? Oh, is this a good combo? What's your bread and butter, right? Or whatever or not, right? And what I'll say to that is that every fight will be different with different factors at play. So you gotta stop trying to find the next best combo because it hurts your ability to be flexible and adaptive. Because some cases, right, you're just not gonna have the cooldowns. So what are you gonna do? Wait for 5 seconds for you to get over here to get back up to do that one combo that you always wanted to do? Or will you just zip in and just do a combo that's a variation of the bread and butter, but you just don't use to get over here? It's very, very important to learn how to combo without using the get over here, without using certain parts of the kit that you would normally have when you have all of your cooldowns up. Before anything, I'm just gonna quickly show you guys my settings right here. These are my settings. I'm just gonna scroll down really quick. You guys can pause the video or you guys can look back when you need to, but this is how I have everything set up. Okay, I will say one big thing is just to make sure that you have hold to swing on and easy swing off or automatic swing off, because it will just like not allow you to do some tech on Spider-Man, right? And also make sure to have get over here targeting. So make sure you have a separate keybind for you to get over here to use when they're marked with the cluster, so that you don't have to go in all the time. You can actually pull them too, even with a cluster. You just gotta set the keybind, right? So just keep that in mind. The next thing I need to teach you guys is also how to chain your uppercuts, your clusters, to get over here, right? We have to learn how to put this all together, not in a single combo, but in variations, right? Because say that I want to combo like a tank, right? If you sit there and be like, oh, this is one combo I learned on TikTok, I have to go like this, and that, and then, oh, that's how you do it, right? If you think about the game like that, then we're gonna be less effective, because what if we don't have a certain cooldown? Maybe the cooldown's coming up in 3 seconds and we can't. What if you don't have the opportunity to wait? That's why you need to learn how to combo all of this together, even without like specifically knowing a certain set of moves. I'm gonna turn ability cooldown off, and like I'm just gonna walk up to this tank and just do something that will kill him. Oh, that killed him, but like that's not really a specific combo. I just did it like muscle memory, right? Another one is just like maybe start with the down smash, like that, right? And all of this is just like, it's not really a specific combo. It's just learning how to down slam with the overhead down slams over and over again, like putting in the tracers like in between those so that you can get maximum damage. And then when you have the uppercut cooldown, to use it after you tracer and then go into another down slam, and then repeat the process, right? Learning how to do that is very, very important. Like I can't really teach you anything on this, right? You just have to hop in the practice range and just keep on doing this like over and over again until you find like that rhythm, right? You should just, like the rule of thumb is to just put your cluster in every single time you hit them. There's even things you can pull them in, do this, do that, and then go into that, right? But like honest to God, I never like thought of that as a combo. Like I just do what I normally do on Spider-Man, which is just combo my punches with clusters, down slams with clusters, cancel my uppercut into down slams. That's why it's very important to not rely on combos so much, but just learn how the character works and then just adapt. That's kind of a long ramble, but I hope my point got across. I also need to talk to you guys about, I think this is actually important because I think a lot of guys out there will just tell you the quote-unquote bread and butter combo, and they say you just use it all the time. If it's a Luna, just go in like this, right? Which is the cluster, get over here, uppercut, cancel into the right click into a down slap. But a Luna during that whole combo can just snowball you out and you'll just die, right? So that's why it's important to bait out cooldowns. And how do you bait out cooldowns? Well, I'll tell you this very important tech. Well, it's not only tech, but you just want to zip uppercut. Okay, that's the tech. All right, zip uppercut. And what this is gonna do is pressure the enemy into using a cooldown. I promise, even in my lobbies, in like eternity lobbies, people, like if you cluster them and then zip uppercut, sometimes they'll just pop Loki totems. or something like that, or even like soul bond on Adam, right? Because that's like half like a Squishy's HP. It's pretty threatening, you know what I mean? So maybe sometimes you just want to engage with the zip uppercut, right? That does half their HP. They're gonna be really scared. They're gonna probably use like a cooldown. And say that this is like a Hela, right? Hellas have two tools to stop you when you combo, which is their stun and they have their bird. And they can use that at any point of their combo, any point of your combo. Say that you want to do this bread and butter combo, they can just bird out of it or they can stun you out of it. How do you combat that? Basically, you just want to cluster, zip, uppercut. And that's gonna pressure the Hela from doing two things, either stun you or use her bird. This is why I say don't rely on combos, because say that there's a rocket, why are you gonna bread and butter a rocket? There's just no point, right? What you want to do instead is probably this, where you cluster, zip, uppercut, cluster them again, right? And then it doesn't matter what kind of dash he does at that point, you can just get over here and uppercut after the cooldown and he's dead. But that's not really like a combo, you know what I mean? It's not really a flashy combo. You're just zip uppercutting, hitting them with the cluster and re-engaging and the uppercutting again. So there's like a lot of variations you can do with that. That's one of them, where you just wait for them to use their escape and then get over here and uppercut them. That's just one of many examples. Like that. Alright. Or another thing you could do is go like this. And then just punch. Right? So don't rely too much on these combos or one-shot combos or whatever. Sometimes you just have to bait cooldowns out and play the 1v1 like that. Now, if you want to learn more about specific combos, leave a comment below and I will go in depth on the best and most useful specific combos to use. Otherwise, there's like a plethora of amazing combo videos out there already for you to watch. So I'm just here to warn you pretty much about becoming a combo nerd and just being that one like combo farmer Spider-Man, where you just everything has to be a combo. The next big part of the video that I'll be going on is the reality of pulling people off. I get it. Pulling people off the map is really cool, and it looks like it's very, very useful to learn. But it's very overrated. I know you guys like are pretty interested in pulling people off the map. Probably I'll actually like show you the 3 ways you can do it. There's actually like there's more ways to pull people off the map, like technically, but these are like the 3 main ways. The first thing I'm gonna do is the b-hop pull, which is just where you b-hop, and if you don't know how to b-hop, you just wanna zip, cluster, and jump. But the cluster and jump is gonna be almost at the same time, right? That. Right? It's gonna allow you to get some distance. You want to be doing that and then pulling someone off like that. It's a faster one. The second way to pull someone off the map is doing the zip uppercut. So basically it looks like this, right? Very, very simple, but all you need is a little bit of space, like 15 to 20 meters, and you need to be I prefer to do it like on higher ground, right? It's where it works best, maybe in the air. But basically all you're gonna do is just zip to the ground and then uppercut during that animation, right? And it's gonna send you flying. It's very important that you cancel the uppercut into a pull, because normally when you uppercut, it takes this long to get a pull out. You see, it takes a little bit too long, and you're going kind of fast when you're doing this animation, right? There's no way you're pulling someone off. So it's important that you cancel the uppercut into a pull. Okay, and how you do that is where you uppercut and then tap your web swing button and then pull. Okay, so you uppercut, tap the web. It's gonna cancel the uppercut and let you pull faster. The timing is a little bit tight, but it's not too bad, so make sure you practice this. I don't usually do these pulls, I'm gonna be honest. There we go. And then method number 3 is probably the most difficult one to do, but it's the most I'd say most important one to learn, because this allows you to pull people off the map in ways you've never seen before, like in distances you've never seen before. Like you can pull people off from like half like way across the map. So basically what you gotta do is you zip and do the b-hop, right? Pretend you're doing this b-hop tech, right? B-hop, just b-hop. Make sure you know how to do this. And right after the b-hop, you want to uppercut. That. Okay. This is gonna make you go flying. It's just like this. Once you got that down, you want to cancel the uppercut again into a pull. So actually, those two different pulls, the B-hop pull and then the zip uppercut pull that I showed you, kind of culminates into this one final pull. It's where you combine those two together, where you B-hop, uppercut, and then pull, right? And make sure you cancel the uppercut with a pull. When you combine all of that, it looks like this. Alright, there we go. But yeah, that's how you actually do those pulls. Now, onto the reason why I think pulling people off the map is overrated is because most people try to do it wrong. The most optimal time to pull someone off the map is like right before the fight breaks out. Okay, like say that like people are walking to the point, right? Or like during neutral game while like the enemy's walking back to point or a cart. It's like the best time to hook someone off, okay? Because it's a low risk, high reward. And you don't really lose anything by messing up because they're still walking to the point, right? It's not like it's a full like fight breaking out. And part of the reason why I say it's overrated is because it's like not that great 80% of the time because you're pulling off a tank. And I'm gonna be honest, like the enemy team can still win the fight without like one tank, right? It's the supports that really matter. So because the tanks are there to maybe stall, but like even then, like if you're just going off of like who's gonna win the fight, and you'll also fuck it up like 80% of the time because of how hard it is to sometimes pull these people off the map. And I will also say you can probably get to eternity without even going for a single hook off the map. I'm gonna be honest, like Spider-Man's strong enough to the point where you don't actually have to pull people off the map to get to eternity, right? So it's not like 100% necessary tech you have to learn. I mean, part of the reason too is that most characters can actually fly up, and there's only like a couple of characters that like actually can't get out or like get off of a ledge. So we also got to think about that as well. If you're in the middle of a really heated fight, it's very risky to just go for a hook, because what that means is that you don't have a cooldown for 8 seconds, a very important cooldown for 8 seconds, right? And also that cooldown can also stop other ults. Like if you miss the hook off the map, but then like a strange ults your team, but you could have saved your team by hooking the strange out of the ult, then you kind of just trolled. Like during the heat of a fight, like the enemy team is gonna try to ult, and also you could just be going for like the healer in the back and just one-shotting him. Why do those things that's more risky and just waste a cooldown and possibly lose your team to fight? So I think a general rule of thumb is to not go for pulls during like a really heated fight. Like say that you're in the genuinely like the thick of a fight, don't go for a risky pull. Even if it's like a reliable pull, like I go like if it's like if you're just at the ledge and you just like pull like a Groot off, that's easy, right? Or a mag off, then that's great, go for it because it's easy to land, right? But if you're trying to go for like a difficult pull like during the fight, you're kind of trolling. But I'm not saying don't learn it though. Definitely learn how to hook people off though, because there are going to be opportunities for you to do it. Again, like if you do it right before the fight breaks out, it can stagger the enemy team and it'll create advantages for you. Alright, the next part of the video, the truth about who to target on the enemy team. The truth about who to target, okay, is actually that there's no truth, okay? Because you would think, oh, just go after the support, just go after the supports. It's not that simple, right? Because this will literally change every game, and every time like the enemy switches their comp or their characters is going to change. Just in general though, once you hop into a game and you guys start the match, just press tab once you know their comp, and like you gotta visually like look at the characters and be like, okay, who can I actually kill? Who are the targets I can actually go in and like 1v1 and kill? Can I kill a Strange? Not really, alright? Can I kill like a Magneto? No, you're not gonna be going for tanks, right? Can I kill a Hela? Okay, I can, but it's not gonna be easy. I gotta think about like the matchup, right? But can I kill a Magic? Matchup specific 1v1 tips, okay? Say that they're playing like, they're playing Iron Man, okay. Iron Man's very easy to kill, okay. Maybe I should go after him, right? Oh, if they're playing a Bucky, oh wait, I can't really fight a Bucky. He's just gonna out-duel me every single time. You just want to be going through their team comp and kind of deciding like who you can fight, right? Like, can you kill a Cloak and Dagger? Yes, but you're just gonna have to bait her cooldowns out, track her when she vanishes. Can you kill a Black Widow? Yes, you can. You just have to make sure you don't get hit by the kick, right? But you kind of just have to be like opening up the team comps and kind of just seeing first who you can kill, who you can target, and who you're gonna fight. You narrow down who you're gonna kill, and then we can talk about the rest. Number one is that if you see an uncontested player, make sure to pressure them off and get them. So pressure them and get them off the angle first. Okay. Before the healers, if there's like a Hawkeye like on high ground somewhere in the corner just pummeling your team, it's on you to go and pressure him off that angle or kill him. That should be the priority, okay? because the team with the most pressure usually wins fights and usually wins. And if you win fights, you win games. That's kind of how you have to look at it. Is that like, say that there's an Iron Man in the sky just shooting at your team, you kind of have to go for him, because if you just let him do that, and he's gonna put too much pressure on your team. So you have to kind of match the pressure that the Iron Man's putting. Actually, it really depends on the match and depending on how the enemy team plays, but that's like a general rule of thumb. It always is going to change. This is true 80% of the time, that you want to go for the uncontested person first, and then go for the healers, right? And then go for the APS, right? That's usually kind of how the order works, right? If there is a Spider-Man on the other team, have to constantly mark the Spider-Man, okay? It's very, very annoying to play against a Spider-Man, I understand. And you also kind of have to adapt to how he plays as well, because every Spider-Man is just going to play really, really different. It really depends, right? One thing that's true for sure is that 80% of the time, like in game, you're just going to have to 1v1 him the whole game. Like, because you are your own biggest counter, because of your HP pool and the fact that both of you are going to be constantly out of position, like away from the team. So you're just bound to get into a lot of 1v1s. And from there, you're just going to have to learn how to 1v1 a Spidey, and I'm gonna get into that right now. Okay, so there's various things you can do, but first thing is to uppercut the Spider-Man out of the combo. Okay, uppercut the Spider-Man out of his combo. When you get over here, it's like this, uppercut him out of it. Okay, it's gonna interrupt his combo, and it's gonna allow you to have a chance of living and getting away to your team or to a health pack. Okay, another thing you can do is that when the enemy Spidey hits the tracer on you and gets over here to you, what you can do is during that animation, you can pull him and like counter combo him pretty much. I think a good thing you can do if a Spider-Man has to get over here on you is like you kind of bait him to actually go for you. This is why like Spidey 1v1s are so like skill based. I feel like it makes it really fun. Spider-Man gets over to you. Oh, he's gonna do this. Say that he's doing that to you, right? What you want to do during that animation, what you can do is pull, punch, cluster, uppercut, and then Venom team up. Okay, that's if you have a Venom team up. Right, and that's just gonna kill him. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty great. It's actually insane how you can just bait the Spider-Man in, and like he has no way to, like, if you get over here during this animation, there's no way to escape it unless you like hit the web button, which is another thing, right? If you think that the Spider-Man is gonna hook you out of your combo, then what you can do is that you can cancel the get over here with a web swing, right? And like from there, like there's so many different things. You're actually just playing a fighting game when you're playing against another Spider-Man. Yeah, I mean, another thing, right? Say that you're the Venom team up. You can hit the team up button to interrupt this combo as well and stay immune, and then counter attack after that or get away. But that's pretty much most of it. Now, this is just an extra tip, but learn where all the health packs are on the map. Like genuinely, as a Spider-Man player, it's gonna help you so much if you just learn where all the health packs are on the map. Alright, this is very, very useful for Spidey 1v1s. Not only that though, but like just in general, it's gonna be way easier to just go on flanks because you're not gonna have to rely on your team to get heals all the time. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it on like the truth about who to target on the enemy team. Alright, next part of the video, why you suck at timing your engagements. Okay, so this is actually like probably the more interesting topics for Spider-Man, because I think Spider-Man has so many different like ways you can be effective as him. You can't just play him in a one-dimensional way. But I think like an important thing is that like you just shouldn't be trying to kill people when your team isn't there. For example, if you're just swinging in, going in like this and trying to fight, like it's just useless. You're just wasting your time, because unless you're there to just bait cooldowns out, which sure you can, right? If you really want to. But you shouldn't be going for kills when your team isn't there, right? Like, what's the point? You can't go for these kills, and there's no point in going for these kills if like your team isn't there to capitalize off of it. In contrast, the best time to actually go for kills is when your team like is already starting to fight, like because you're supposed to play like an assassin. Like you can go crazy when the enemy team is distracted, but otherwise like 4 people are going to be looking at you when you engage and just get popped. How many times has that ever happened to you where like even me, right? I just swing in, like I do my fucking rollout, and then like my team's not even there, but like I'm not even trying to go for a kill, but I just go in like this and then you get popped. Why? Because the whole team is just looking at me. Another thing is like stop trying to kill in every engagement. Like every time you go in, you don't actually have to kill, right? Say that you go for an engagement, but it gets dangerous, just b-hop out or swing out. Most cases, like the higher elo you get, the longer you can stay in the fight, you're just gonna pop. So make sure that you're okay with just doing the hit and run where you just cluster uppercut and get out. And that way you can maybe possibly bait cooldowns and farm some ult charge. So many Spider-Man I just see like perma engaging, just going for full combos and it's not working, right? Another thing is like just some team comps or matchups, this kind of goes into the point I made earlier about combos, is that you're gonna have to re-engage instead of full engaging the first time. Like I just keep using Hela as an example. You're gonna play against a lot of Helas in season 2, right? But cluster uppercut and then re-engage, right? Bait out cooldowns. You don't have to full engage every single time. That goes well into the last point I'm gonna make in this video, which is gonna be the real correct playstyle of Spider-Man, okay? And is it rage-based Spider-Man? Is that how you play Spider-Man? Like, what's the correct playstyle? Like, do you just have to play like a perma flanker? Like, what's going on? And my answer to that question is like literally like there are 2 different playstyles of Spider-Man. I'm gonna name those 2 just to make it like easier to visualize. A hyper-aggressive Spider-Man playstyle on one end, and there's a patient flanker playstyle, okay? There's patient flanker playstyle and there's hyper-aggressive playstyle, okay? And you can't be only hyper-aggressive or only patient flanker playstyle. That doesn't exist, right? Because it all exists on a spectrum. There's different levels of aggression. There's different levels of patience you have to have as a Spider-Man player, and it's going to depend on the state of the game, who you're playing against, and how the enemy team is playing, okay? And the way to figure that out is literally just by like, it just depends on how well the enemy team is responding to your engagements, right? I mean, I think this goes for any competitive video game, or like even if you're playing a sport, like you have to adapt as the game goes on, right? You can't just play the same way the entire time. You kind of have to fluctuate between those 2 on like on a scale, because you can't just play hyper aggressive all the time and play super reserved and patient the entire time. The problem with divers and melee characters is their uptime. And if you reduce your uptime too much to the point where you're like barely engaging and just waiting for the perfect time, you're just gonna be not effective. You're just gonna be literally putting your team in a 5v6. General rule of thumb, if the enemy team is bad, or like I say bad as in like they're not shutting you down properly, if they're not shutting you down properly, using your cooldowns properly, or even looking at you when you engage, literally just do the playstyle while you just fly in the air and repeatedly just abuse the enemy team with the cooldowns with like maximum uptime. So what I mean by that, right? If they're really just not looking at you or shooting at you, what you can do is just fly up in the air, go for combos, and then fly up in the air, go in, do your combo, fly in the air, and have your team heal you, like go back to your team maybe, and then go back in, like over and over again when you get your cooldowns back up, right? You can play like this, right? You can play like I don't know what the best thing you could describe it as, but you can play super aggressive like that and in the open. It's not actually a problem if the enemy team isn't shutting you down. But say that they are shutting you down, they're looking at you, your team's not putting enough pressure on the enemy team, they're all looking at you all the time, right? In that case, then you kind of have to play more reserved. You're gonna have to play more patient, right? You're gonna have to go on flank routes. You're gonna have to try to not get seen, play behind corners, and then go in and attack when they're not looking and they're not paying attention, and then try to kill them like that. And then this is why learning where health packs are is important, because in these sorts of playstyles, you're gonna have to like go for health packs instead of going back to your team, because that wastes a lot of time. Not only is good at getting to point A to point B really fast, super aggressively, he's also really good for being slippery in the backline of the enemy team, right? Because he's literally the best at doing that. More than Psylocke, more than Black Panther, right? Because your mobility is unmatched. You can go to health packs in like 2 seconds and have like a millisecond, right, to survive and stuff like that. The best Spider-Man player will be able to balance both of them and use both styles to have a maximum effectiveness, right? So you're not only playing like flanking, you're not only like just trying to find the perfect opportunity, right, and playing in their backline. You're also like going crazy, like swinging in the air, like playing super aggressive with your cooldowns. Like every time you have them up, just go in and like go on their supports over and over and over again, right? Those two like differing playstyles, you need to kind of merge them into one, and then it'll become your own Spider-Man playstyle. Okay. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I don't really have much anything else for the video or any more topics that I was gonna cover today. But again, like if you guys want to learn more in-depth combo, like a combo guy, I need just make sure to let me know in the comments. But I really hope that this was really helpful for your Spider-Man journey.